Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Saturday is September 9, 2023, 3:15 p.m. Eastern. Celebrating this life, discovering our enlightenment, every moment with the recognition that we are intimately connected to a power that is so great, so intelligent and loving, that we wouldn't trade diamonds, gold, money on this planet. This literally conscious, intelligent energy is all-powerful. It is always flowing through us. It is around us, instantly available to us, and loves us deeply and eternally. Enlightenment is fully surrendering to this truth everywhere. Nothing ever happens by accident. You always say, oh, that was an accident or a by accident in this enlightened universe. There are no coincidences whatsoever. And the enlightened being's understanding of life, even our decision to listen to this information, is not an accident. Everybody being here at this time, in this very now, in this global guided meditation, every experience is always the right experience, even though we view it as why am I experiencing this? What did I deserve to have this happen? So every experience is always the right experience for that moment in our journey. Life is the perfect teacher. Infinite intelligent universe ever make a mistake? Every lesson our soul came here is being provided for through each breath experience that we are given. Our spiritual path into enlightenment is our path home. It is constantly here guiding us, helping us to remember and reawaken the realization of our awesome, true, radiant self. Dramatically shift into a higher enlightened state. Period. You can a higher enlightened state. How do you do that? Well, you focus, number one, you go to the now. Number two, in the now. Focus on your breath. You focus on what you want. This is how we increase our vibrational frequency, being deeply grateful in the moment, moment to moment. Being gentle, kind, generous, and humble with ourselves at all times. Because if we aren't, we're on ourselves. We're coming down on ourselves, ridiculing ourselves, being hard on ourselves. What is that? That's low frequency. That then opens up the doors to lower. Our attitude towards ourselves ends up mirroring the attitude we have towards others. It seems so simple, but yet in a way less silent, lest we may hear the whisper of God. Ralph Waldo Emerson. You remember this statement a long time ago. The kingdom of God is within you. Okay? You, which inside that body, is the kingdom of God. Period. The kingdom of God is in every single one of us because we are God's. It's irrefutable. God, pure consciousness, hand in hand. One and the same. All of us combined make up one large pure consciousness. So you understand that when we're connected, which we all are as the gods that we are, we're that one pure consciousness because we're plugged into it. Many of us don't know how to access it. Not yet, but we will. So this statement, the kingdom of God is within you, is that everybody has this innate connection to the great inner kingdom, not just a sacred few like it's been portrayed. The enlightened consciousness is this kingdom, and it is effortlessly and instantly found by anyone who surrenders to it. We are already connected to this amazing state of consciousness right now. Yet, we may not feel it because the mind is blocking the way. Only when the mind becomes completely relaxed and trusting of life can it be fully revealed. When we fall or fail, naturally fall into the deepest stillness and silence within us, we will discover this awesome enlightening consciousness is already there. The enlightened consciousness is the highest state of consciousness that there is. There's nothing more loving, accepting, insightful, appreciative, and jovial than this enlightened state of mind. Believe it or not, this is our most natural state of being. When we choose to be at peace with ourselves over everything else in this universe, we naturally begin to connect with this deeply profound spiritual healing energy that resides at the core of our being. We constantly overlook these higher states of consciousness because the mind is so preoccupied and clinging to its extensive variety of desires, thoughts, and fears. The mind basically becomes so busy that it forgets that a more enlightened experience of this life is available to explore in each new moment. Many of us were all taught as children how powerful and important the mind is. And so we blindly follow the mind. We tag along. Remain extremely close to it and believe in it wherever it goes. Unknowingly, we waddle along from one thought to the next, grasping onto every dip and wiggle like we are the chick and it's the great mama duck. You may find that weeks, months, and years can pass by where you are consistently following the mind for 24 hours a day around without a break. We may even believe that we have no other choice than to hang on to the tail of the mind and be pulled along with its desires forever. The mind's hypnotic spell over us is deep and yet extremely tantalizing, as we may feel lost without it, and are often happily caught in its habit of reaching into this delicious world of desires. Sometimes it happens in a rare moment or situation in this life. We suddenly stop following the mind. Deep relaxation occurs, and we realize that we do not have to follow our thoughts at all. We understand that our desires will manifest for us at the right time, and so we can simply bask and enjoy the expansive glory of this great universe around us. It is from this mind-stopping space that a deeper inquiry arises within to find where is the source of this mind. When we peer inside to see where our thoughts are originating from, it causes the mind to become very quiet. And it is this silence which unlocks the door to finding our connection with the pure consciousness, the enlightened consciousness within. The greatest magical moments of our lives manifest the moment we step back from our desiring, seeking, searching, needy mind. When we rest into the stillness at the center of our heart, the mind must let go. Life instantly becomes a serene, perfect, and naturally centered experience. We feel there is an eternity ahead of us. In this healing space, we stop trying to create, achieve, or change anything in this world. It feels so good just resting here with existence, revealing our natural divinity while appreciating and accepting the entire universe as it is. It is in the merging of a quiet, trusting mind and the deepest relaxation in the body where the enlightened consciousness abides. Discovering this place inside us will heal many years, many layers, and lifetimes of doubts, worry, and fear. Discovering this place inside us will heal many layers and lifetimes of doubts, worry, and fear. The enlightened state enters us automatically. When the mind truly stops, and when the mind stops, our consciousness expands, and we enter that state. They happen simultaneously, as if they were two sides of the same coin. The very moment we become completely relaxed and at peace with everything in this life, consciousness must move through us. It has no other choice. I am a human being just like you, but at the same time, I am God. Jesus, taken from the Gospel of St. Thomas. That's every one of us. Jesus was a man. That's what he was. He was a man. He recognized the fact that within that body that he was the God. I am God. Everybody thought that he was way above everybody, but he wasn't. And he didn't depict it. It said, I am God. I am a human being just like you, but at the same time I am God. Every one of us are a human being. At the same time we are God. Another enlightening tip to reveal the enlightened consciousness within you takes a little creative exploration and personal commitment. Because this amazing enlightened state is so precious, powerful, and transforming, resides in the place we would least expect it to be. Our enlightened consciousness is not discovered through pushing to find the highest experience, to resist or avoid the lower experiences. It's from trying to only think positive thoughts, nor rejecting those fearful parts of ourselves that are not so positive about life. The enlightened consciousness is much bigger than the mind, and is something that finds you when you naturally are at peace with both extremes. When we walk the middle path of this life, that place which is free from any clinging to the higher and resisting the lower, a great feeling of freedom enters us. There is no struggle to change anything in this life on the middle road. We see that our consciousness is completely perfect, and it knows everything. There is this feeling of extreme peace. We know already arrived at the great kingdom, so it's not trying to get anywhere special. The best part, however, is that the mind becomes crystal clear and is no longer running the show. We become liberated from the demanding, striving, obsessive ego and realize how wonderful it is to relax, enjoy the simple experience of being alive. Only through finding this middle way in every action, thought, and situation we are in can we transcend our clinging mind, surrender to Source, discover an effortless freedom from our relentless ego. On the path of surrender, our highest consciousness becomes infused in everything that we do, because the mind is no longer pushing towards what it wants, nor trying to get away from what it doesn't want. We can actually relax in the experience of now. We suddenly find it very easy to let go of those typical issues that normally irritate and worry us, because we are so enthralled in amazing natural expanse of the divine universe flowing all around us. You can lose only what you cling onto. You can lose only what you cling onto. Buddha. It's important to know that the society around us has hypnotized everyone to believe it is quite normal to live in states of desire, struggle, and suffering. We need this and have to buy that in order to be happy. And without it, we cannot relax and just be content with this life as it is. Humanity has gotten used to being needy, and this causes loads of suffering. The habit of resting and relaxing in stillness, acceptance of this life as it is so cosmic, empowering, and transformative. We will never go back to striving for anything again. Be patient with yourself. Crucial. As this suffering habit is accepted by everyone on the planet, isn't it? This entire society is like children who have been given one pair of shoes to wear at birth. And years later, there are 5 sizes too small. Now, we have all been wearing these tiny shoes for so many years that we have just accepted the experience that life typically is small, tight, and confined. These small shoes come in many styles and forms, such as the plethora of rules, regulations, laws, moral superstructure of an overly controlled, untrusting society. An overly controlled, untrusting society. That's why people don't trust each other. Name how many people on your one hand, right? Take your fingers, that you can completely trust. You might not even be able to have one finger up. We are all wearing tight, tiny, little wooden shoes, and we don't know how to take them off. We have shrunken ourselves to fit into them, and we believe that this is who we are. We don't so easily accept that the enlightened consciousness is our basic nature. and our soul's natural destiny. Everyone is blindly following around the ego-driven mind, so we should do what is normal. Otherwise, we won't fit in and find happiness. Feel that in your heart-mind. You know that it is true. It isn't a judgment. It is an identifier. It is an understanding. What everyone really should be doing first thing in the morning is break free from this mass societal hypnosis and realize the enlightened consciousness is our very nature. When we stop running to catch up with the other rats and sit and realize that finding an enlightened way of seeing life is the most important thing we can do with our time, we start living a new life that is constantly bubbling up joy, creativity, love, and energy within us. After a few days of this, we will find suffering has stopped showing up on our... Now, I invite you to explore what it's like to feel these tiny shoes. If you continue tolerating and ignoring them, it's like tossing a fat bucket of mud splattered all over your windshield and learning how to just deal with it. Do you honestly think you should continue trying to see the road ahead through that little half-clear spot on the bottom corner of your windshield and keep driving even faster? The ego is so stubborn and addicted to old habits and would never think to pull over, stop the car, get out, and completely wash the entire thing off. Pay attention to the stillness, the silence more often, and there will come a day when you will experience the ego is not really running this show. This inner silence is what enlightenment is all about. Washing everything off, cleaning yourself from the mind muck and incessant chatter that's constantly squeezing you and compressing your life. You're with people. Don't try to fit into the smaller pair of shoes so others feel more comfortable with the bigger ones. Society will never be satisfied with who you truly are. It's just not comfortable allowing everyone's enlightened consciousness to move freely about until everybody comes to awaken. There will be absolute trust of the individual and no need for controlling rules and regulations. You stand at the edge, ready to throw yourself in. What a shock to discover there is nowhere to go and no one to throw. I'm not just saying that our society is totally wrong. It's just asleep. It doesn't want to recognize the enlightened consciousness in every being. It thrives off of suffering. And the government would go out of business if we all awakened to our sovereignty with our enlightened consciousness inside. We'll take everything we've got inside us to stand up, be strong, and liberate ourselves from the mass hypnosis. When the enlightened consciousness is awakened in you, you will know. You will feel unstoppable in everything you do and totally trust that whatever life decides Wherever life decides to take you, it's always guiding you home. What I want more than anything is that you learn how to trust yourself. If you've been driving for years with a massive mud cake on the windshield of your mind, a deep cleaning and brainwashing may be needed. Start with affirming to yourself that you can trust yourself every day in every way. I can trust myself every day in every way. Feel what heart is like. How does it resonate inside? Realize that remaining at 100% trust is the enlightened state that knows everything is perfect as it is. Meditate on this thought. Meditate on it. Take 90 days. Notice how your body, mind, and life tend to respond. You can begin to see how things have totally been structured. How? How have they been structured? The opposite of who and what we are. This planet, everything, has been constructed and has portrayed the opposite of who we are. Now, when you have amnesia, you don't remember who and what you are, and you're an open book when you come into this plane of existence, what's going to happen? You're going to believe it. You're going to believe that the opposite of who and what we are is really who and what we are. This is why so many of us don't discover. This is why so many of us are entrenched in what? What are we entrenched in? Things, right? Having, wanting, needing, constantly striving, constantly gripping, constantly pulling for what? Stuff. And the more we run after it, the further it gets away. If you, any time in your life, let's say that you were attracted to somebody, and so you pursued them, right? And in most cases, pursue them, they get disenchanted and disconnect from you. Because you're so after. When you just relax, let go, express yourself, let go, the whole thing changes. Completely. It's the opposite effect. Now we know that this world is filled with people who feel they've lost their way, right? We know that. Now, the ego will not allow us to see the reality because it says, I am separate. The moment the tree thinks it is separate from the earth, it starts dying. The tree has to know that it exists only on the earth. Then it is nourished and fed by the earth. Only then is it at home. Also. Many are facing right now, in this very moment that we're in, many are facing divorce, drowning in bills, cannot sleep, massively overweight, deeply depressed, eating dead food, deeply unhealthy. Perhaps they've lost a family member, their soulmate, or even their house, financial security, or worse, the hope for a better future. And we know that life can be so intense at times that some people feel they have even lost their minds. And when it comes down to it, we have all experienced some form of loss. Yet, whatever it is that we lose along this grand adventurous journey, no matter what it is, we must choose also realize that it is a precious gift, teaching us the sacred art of letting go. See, when you don't attach yourself, and I'm talking anything, when you don't attach yourself to anything, anyone, any person, anything, okay? You enjoy it, but you don't attach yourself to it. You let it go. And then when you focus on the ultimate truth here, while we're doing all that, is that we can't take it with us. We can't take it with us when we leave these bodies. Isn't it amazing? We grip and claw and wrench and pull every lifetime to get somewhere where? Usually financially stable, lots of money. And then we leave the body. And along the way, we didn't really enjoy anything because we were so set with the ego to have more. Got to have more. 1 million isn't enough. Got to have 1 billion. Billion's not enough. Got to have 1 trillion. Trillion's not enough. More and more and more and more. It's like you say to somebody, what are you doing with all this? You're not going to be able to take it with you. You're going to leave that body and it's going to stay here. You'll be just as broke when you leave the body as you were when you came in the body. There are no cell phones, emails, bills, car payments, or bank accounts in heaven, which is within you. There is just love, pure, deep, eternal love, and an eternity of time to enjoy it. When this body has served its time on this planet and is done here, we take nothing with us but our own life experiences, love, and consciousness. So our life experiences, love, and consciousness are the most precious items that we are carrying right now. Our life experiences, love, and consciousness are the most precious items that we are carrying right now. So make them your number one priority over all your ego's needs, fears, wants, wishes, demands, and desires. You will find your life suddenly becomes much easier, sweeter, and simpler to live. Time to time, we all need some guiding light to show us where to go in this life. This greatest light that you may ever discover is not in the outer world, yet deep inside at the very core of consciousness, which is you, the God in that body. The light of pure awareness. If you look close enough, you'll see that it has a direct, consistent connection that is flowing to and from the actual God source itself. You could miss experiencing this amazing connection because you're paying more attention to your thoughts about it instead of the actual light of pure awareness. So simply place your attention only on pure awareness and nothing else. See what happens. Try it for the next few minutes. Notice if something shifts in how spiritually connected you feel inside. Simply place your attention only on pure awareness, nothing else. Often, the moment when we forget about our brilliance of awareness, the mind instantly takes over, tends to point itself towards its desires. It wants to achieve things to be happy, successful, fulfilled or heal negative experiences from the past, as it believes these are the main reason why we are not happy today. Yet, these aren't the real reason why we continue this habit of remaining caught in some emotional gutter. The real reason why we remain stuck in yesterday's old news is because we haven't learned how to create a solid, trusting connection with the God Source, the source of absolute, deep, eternal love. We have forgotten that the God Source is real. It's real. It's the only thing that is real, that it's instantly available, that it's here right now. Super easy to access. And the great golden secret, how we can all truly enjoy this precious life again. Can you begin to feel, or feeling even more so, through your heart minds, that it's all been the opposite of what we are? Everything. We cannot fail at anything. We cannot fail at anything in this life when we are connected with this great, deep, eternal, loving source within. When we are feeling our soul's natural connection with it, we relax and start asking ourselves deeper questions like, why am I really here? What's the most enlightened thing I can do with my time? What can I do to live out my life's mission? When we are feeling into our sweet, supportive spiritual connection, we instantly stop complaining. We stop complaining. You ever been around somebody? We all complain. I don't think any of us are exempt from it. But have you ever been around someone that always complaining about something? It could be small, big, in between. But they're always complaining about something. And what is that? How do you feel about that? It's kind of heavy, doesn't it? It gets kind of like, you just say, I don't really care about be around this person. They're not the type of person I want to surround myself with, where they're constantly complaining about everything. And see, we let go of our demanding, abrasive ego and start appreciating what is. Now, a lot of people would believe, right, that awakening the God Source within is quite simple, right? But they would think that it was really complicated, and they don't want to even look at it, and they have to pay any attention to it, and it sounds too deep, and I'm just not ready for that. But awakening the God Source in reality within is quite simple, and really boils down to giving up our resistance to our connection with it. See, we resist it. We resist the connection with the God Source. Doesn't intentionally, mostly subconsciously and unconsciously. You ever feel like you're grappling with something? You ever feel like there's something that you're trying to sidestep all the time, but it's always there? It's not a negative feeling. It's just a deep feeling, which then the ego mind is very insecure, so it says, no, don't go there. Don't go there. As we investigate further inside ourselves, we can find places where we could start relaxing more and more and more. The God Source is everywhere. There is no place or time you can find to escape from it. The task, then, is all about letting go of our resistance to its great unending love. We resist the very thing that we are. Through the belief of separation, and that we are the body and not the God. This is why we've been trained to pray outside of ourselves, to pray to a God that doesn't exist, to pray to a God that is outside of us. You see? And then we start waking up enough to say, wait a minute here, this is all wrong. It's twisted. I am the God within this body, which is connected to all the gods in all existence, and all that there is, ever has been, ever, beyond, and forever. So that means when I pray to the God that I am, all the gods respond. It's huge. But when you're taught that there's only one God outside of you that you pray to, that's up in the sky, above you, remember, above you. Nothing is above us. Nothing. We are all one. There is no such thing as anything being above you. Now you can start to understand how it was created and why. You might have seen bumper stickers along the way. Life is the school and love is the lesson. When we open the heart to trusting in the energy of deep eternal love, we begin learning the most important lesson we are here to learn. What is it? What is that? How to fully embrace, accept, and appreciate who and what we really are. Gods. How to fully embrace, accept, and appreciate who and what we really are. We are God. We were not born to just tolerate our lives. We are here to celebrate, love, and embrace everyone and everything in it. When we stop dwelling on how we were wronged, how messed up we are, or wounded we are by our past, we create a space for love to come in. When we stop doing all of that, then we can start using our creative energy to enjoy feeling how deeply and eternally loved we are, and amazing it is to be alive. How do you do it? How do you awaken the great God source within? Begins with a sincere willingness to let in love, to trust love. How many of us really trust love? To allow love in whenever given, and welcome the vibration of feeling lovable. This willingness is what allows us to stop defending and protecting ourselves from any possibility of future pain. We forget to be afraid of life. We forget to be afraid of life, of people, of taking risks, of creating intimacy, getting hurt again. With just a little willingness to let in deep eternal love, we begin feeling more open, vulnerable, and excited to allow even more amazing and abundant experiences into our lives. This willingness to let in love is a huge step. And with it, we will realize just how beautiful, childlike, and tremendously innocent we all truly are. This life is the greatest experience there is, and it's always going to be teaching us what we most need to know about ourselves. I'll join you in the meditation, and I will return to close us out. Take an easy breath in through the nose and out from the mouth. Remain still. Dare to expose your true self. There is great strength in being vulnerable. Dismantle your armor and discover a deeper power inside by letting people get through to your protected heart. They can experience the glorious divine being you truly are. This transparency is profound. It allows others to remove their tiresome agenda and meet you in the Sacred Heart. It's much bigger risk to wear the armor. Take this with you for the rest of the day and the evening and night, the following morning. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest, deepest eternal gratitude. And we will return here, no matter what's going on within you or outside of you. We will return here Sunday, September 10th, 2023, 3:15 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call.